listeners' question. So, what motivated you writing this? What intrigued you to put pen down your thoughts, or was it an always ever-going process that you were into, or this was the first time that you penned down your thoughts?
No, no, I've been writing so many things in my head since I was very young. But then, I needed those thoughts to vent out, to come out. And I wanted, when I was observing, I was seeing so many people, I could connect with so many stories around me, which was going on in my mind. And then I thought, as you know, my poems or a story always ends on a positive note. So I have seen so many people who are depressed, so many people who are facing challenges and doing their own thing. So I just wanted to send a message. I just wanted to convey what I thought. So this was the best way, because in nowadays time, when you read a novel, you need so much of time, and then poetry is always very subtle, yet so effective, yet so profound. So I wanted my thoughts to reach out to the people around me and connect with them. And yeah, that's how poetry came into my mind, and I started writing. That's it.
Okay.
Very easy for me.
So, it also often happens that when you write down poetry,
Yes.
the author goes into a zone of their own. It
Yes.
can be positive also, it can be negative also.
Never negative.
Oh, okay.
Never. Always positive in whatever I do. I mean, I've never thought of negative is not a word in my dictionary.
So, how do you keep yourself so motivated? I have been following your Instagram as well.
When I see all of you so youth and at this age, when I see that I can do so many things, when you guys motivate me, when I take inspiration from everybody around me, when I see whatever I do, it kind of affects, just kind of some kind of good influence on people. Yes, it motivates me. Anything positive happening around me motivates me, kind of. So I take motivation from all the youth around me.
Because I feel for us, the youth, we are every now and then we become restless. We feel like that nothing is enough. We need to
Yes.
strive for more. So how did you? Was it always the case for your in your case?
No.
So how did you crack that balance out?
When actually I believe when you see what's happening around you, when so many experiences, so many challenges, and I'm sure you all must be knowing that we can't do much about it. I mean, like now when I was traveling by the cab and it took me around 2.5 hours or whatever. So yeah, I kept telling myself, if I can't do anything about it, I have to keep calm, I have to go ahead. So same in the life process, when we see so many things, and you have to maintain the calm, you can't help.
No issue.
So I think experience, the age, everything counts. I was so impatient at your age that I would not be able to sit for a single second at one place. But then I learned the hard way. I learned, but yes, here I am, and planning my second book with you all, definitely. Dhairya was the one who would answer all my questions, even at the oddest of hour. I mean, I would not understand. I would ask him 5-6 times. Even then, he would be patient enough to explain me everything. You all have been so nice to me. Unnati, I must mention her. With the designs, with everything. I was so impatient at this age. I was so impatient. You remember, he was the one who helped me with everything. With my designing and all. And I was never satisfied. I wanted the best. I wanted perfection. So everybody had a tough time with me, but I was cool. I was calm, and Dhairya was definitely very helpful.
So, ma'am, what inspired you? The title of your book is Slice of Life. So,
Yes.
Was it always from the very beginning that you will keep the title of?
I wanted something related with the life, because this book does not have a particular theme. It's not about romance. It's not about breakups. Whenever I attend a show or whenever I go somewhere, I see people always, their poetry, they always talking about the breakups, the romance, the love. But why that? There is so much to life. So many things are happening in life which we need to, everything is important. when you love someone, is it necessary that it needs to be fulfilled? I mean, if you raise your standards and you realize that nothing is so simple in life, and only that love, I mean, if you get that love or if you do not get that love, it is not important. What means is everything. Life has so many things, from the time when we are born till the time we go away from this world, with this in this mortal world. We see the challenges faced by you all. I'm talking about myself. I mean, I can say that I face so many challenges. But my first poem, which is Fight with Might, I wrote it. The hospital bed it was, and my son was in the hospital bed, and his surgery was done just the previous evening, and he was having all those wires and all everything on, and the next day morning he had the dream interview, and he sat through it and he gave the interview. Like a mother, I was sitting there dumbstruck. I did not know what to do, whether to handle him or to handle that interview. Then I realized it's not about my son, it's about everyone. I mean, the youth, at least we are experienced, but you guys, I mean, face so many challenges. And from the time you sit for the exam, from the time like when you look for a job, when you try to take blessings from your parents, when you get married, I mean, so many challenges. At least we are experienced. So this was about the youth and people who are not so young like me, the women. I mean, it's just that women can be very powerful. I have so many poems in this I have written about women, because once again, women is Shakti. Women is Ma Durga's Pratiroop, and whenever we feel, that we are getting lost, the women in us, when we know that we can't do anything, then realize, I mean, you should know about your own power and fight your challenges. I mean, कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं है जीवन में जो we can't do. And think about those people who are retired. I mean, life is so different for them. तो अगर उसको हम लोग क्रिप करें कि मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है, तो कुछ नहीं है. बट उस समय वो कुछ करने को होता है जो हम लोग कभी नहीं कर सके. All the new things. Then again, इतने festivals, इतनी खुशियाँ, only India has so many things, right? तो अगर हम लोग उसको लेके, when we know how to celebrate life, it's about celebrating life basically. So that is how I wanted to connect. The name I wanted to connect with the life, but since it's about different walks of life, from about different people, different generations, then it had to be a slice. Each phase is a slice, and we need to combine it, and then the whole life is a celebration, I guess.
That's an amazing answer to a very difficult but yet a simpler question. So, ma'am, for your readers, basically, how would you define your readers? Who is a probable target audience for your book? So, who should pick up your book? Who would you say should pick up my book?
All ages. You know better. From 15 to any age. I mean, 90. I mean, कोई भी. I remember at Kolkata Book Fair, I'll just tell you an incident, a very small one. It was 5 or 6 days Kolkata Book Fair. It was sold out, and I remember in a hurry I had to call for a second lot. And the people who picked up that, then I realized that it's just not in me. Like, I mean, actually, when a 15-year-old boy, he came up to me and he wanted me to read out one poem which he could relate with. A politician, very prominent, I just don't want to name him. He stood there on the podium and he read out my poetry. He told me not to send it across the social media, but then he could connect with the poem Weapons, where I have talked about, for a woman, her crying out is a weapon. For a politician, his power is his ruthless weapon. Or for a baby, the way the baby cries, that is his weapon. For a dharma guru, religious is the weapon. On just about one poem he could connect. And then there were people from the police force, and from different people, from different walks. An NRI gentleman, and he wanted to spread it. So I said, you'll have to take permission from the right order. Bhai, I am just a writer and I do my own thing, and the rest they are handling. So then I came to know that people really connected. I mean, there was no age limit, whether it was 15 or 60 or 70. I was so proud of what I wrote then, and the Pratilipi had acknowledged it too soon, and that was, I did not know, I did not have that confidence in me. But when they said, yeah, it was when I got the reviews so correct, and then a 70-year-old gentleman, he's in Pratilipi, he's from Bangalore only, so I'm not writing much for Pratilipi these days. So one day he sent me a message, ma'am, please write. So that was 70 up, I guess, 80-year-old gentleman. So I knew that he was connecting with it, and that motivated me.
I guess for a author, the best appreciation he or she can get is from the readers. When the readers give their honest feedback,
Yes.
is when you,
Yes.
the authors, feel that
Yes.
your work has translated into something positive
Yes.
for.
Maybe I go wrong with words, but I can't go wrong with feelings. I mean, that's how writers are born. That's how they get the appeal, and that is how. I mean,
As long as people are able to connect with your work.
Yeah. Maybe I'm very simple. Maybe I do not use very difficult words. But if I'm not able to connect with the general mass, and why would they come and pick up a Jyoti Saraf book, Slice of Life, and they would definitely go for an Amish or anybody who's maybe if I am not Jyoti Saraf and I'm standing in a stall of a book, and I would not know whether to pick up this book or not. Who's Jyoti Saraf? But yeah, when you read something from behind, then they would know, yeah, each feeling is described so simply. So that's what, I mean, be simple in life now. As it is, I'm not talking about only this. I'm, just readjust, refocus. Whenever you're just going haywire, believe that anything is good if you're simple. With your feelings, with your thoughts, with the clarity, with whatever, with the adaptability, anything. So that's what I'm trying to do.
So the simplicity in the words and the.
It has to reflect the way I am. I remember I had gone to my hairdresser and she asked, like, I mean, what do you want for your hair? I had cut my hair and I had totally given up my hair and all. So it's something when I do not need to comb and I just do like this and it has to be okay and I am done with and I'm ready. So that's why I believe in writing simple and.
So you preach and follow also preach and practice simplicity.
I mean, if you just preach, people would listen to you for 2 days, maybe for a month or 2 or maybe a year, but then your real self would come out, and then people would know that you're talking something else and you are someone else. So be yourself.
I guess maybe that is what your reader actually connects with you.
Maybe. I'm so happy about it.
It's a proud thing to.
Yes.
So, do you often feel proud? So, as you narrated that a 15-year-old boy came.
Yes, he gave me a hug. He kind of like, I mean, I can't believe that I'm standing in front of. These were his exact words. I must be having his video till now. And I was so touched. I mean, I was wondering when I was reading out, I had this kind of, if you could call it an ego or whatever, I was reading out the poem to him. I was wondering whether he would understand or not. But then he explained, after I read out the poem, he explained what he understood. So मेरे को लगा कि अरे, I had mentioned this also, and he understood that. So that was, victory for me.
Often this also happens, especially in poetry. So you are wanting, because you are in a particular mindset, you are presenting a particular way, or you have a thought process when you are penning it down.
Correct.
But when it reaches out to your reader, it changes mind, it changes thoughts, because they might be in a different state of mind.
Yes.
So does that has it ever happened with you wherein your readers could take it in a better positive sense or any other different sense and they shared it with you?
Negative तो कभी नहीं हुआ, लेकिन I'll tell you what, if you all have read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, or Secrets by Rhonda Byrne, I mean, so whenever you open it, so each time the takeaway is something different.
True, that is what I was.
मैं उससे नहीं connect कर रही हूँ, but मैं यही believe करती हूँ, जो भी whenever we are saying something, whichever state of mind you are in, I'm sure you would take it in that way. और अगर हर तरीके से, if it is reaching out to different people in their own particular way, जिसमें उन लोगों को चाहिए, so that is a writer's job. Find yourself, find yourself here in any of the book writers. I'm not talking about me. I'm not here to promote my book or Jyoti Saraf. I'm talking about all those authors or writers who are new here, and the Right Order has been doing such a wonderful job. I mean, just look at the quality. They're not compromising anywhere. So it's best कि they get a name for themselves. Why just read all the popular writers? Give us some chance. And yes, it took me 2 years to be here, and tomorrow I have a show, and then again on the 10th I don't know whether I'll do that or not, because I have to travel on day 11. But yeah, people are inviting when I'm in Calcutta, so they ask me, this is my success, that when are you going to be here in Bangalore? So these are the dates, and we can also alter the dates if you would like. So we want you on the stage. So this is a big victory. This is not anything about able to speak. It is about how I am conveying, how I'm able to look into their eyes and be good to them, be subtle, and yeah, I want to convey something, and if they understand, this is my job done.
It's your work that the people are surely connecting.
Yeah. That's how I want it. I don't want me to talk. I want my work to talk. So it took time. You had told me, so it will take time, ma'am. So be patient. And yes, I was. And that's what.
Perfect. So, ma'am, we all here would like you to have at least for us. We would like to have one reading session of your poem. The best poem, whichever you feel.
See, all are my favorite.
For an author, there will be
all are my babies, huh?
Yeah.
So you tell me whether you would like to hear something in English or in Hindi.
One in English, one in Hindi.
Okay.
That'll be better.
So I want to read, since I was talking about it, this is a very deep poem, and I had written it when there were so many political things going on in the country, and people were making up scenes, and we would not understand what was happening. Everybody was in dilemma. So I had written this poem, Weapons. We all have our own weapons, that too without a license. We use those weapons now and then. We take pleasure in attacking again and again. A politician's power is his ruthless weapon. A man calls his physical strength as his weapon. A woman's rolling down tears are her weapons. A child's loud wail is known to be its weapon. A lion's ferocious paws is its vicious weapon, whereas a dharma guru calls religion his weapon. We need to assess and evaluate our powers. We need to gather and hold on to our powers. We need to rise and use judicially our powers. We need to realize weapons are not our powers. Weapon is a menacing word which we freely use as a sword. Swords in the past arose hoard, freedom of the nation restored. All weapons, be physical or verbal, flow like venom in our society's circle. These are the last lines which I really love. Believe me, weapons are used by cowards. I'm sure you all could connect with it. Cowards we are not, rather we are empowered. Empowered by humanity, divinity and agility, which has immense productivity and ability. So this is how I believe in about everybody's life. Another poem which I really love is, I wrote it ऐसे ही बहुत challenges देख रही थी. कोविड का टाइम ख़त्म हो रहा था, समझ में नहीं आ रहा था कि बाहर निकलो कि क्या करो. और उस समय बहुत हार चुके थे और बहुत सारी जंग जीतनी थी. उस समय लिखी थी, कुछ ख्याल कुछ जज्बात, कह दो तूफानों से है दोस्त, खड़ी हूँ रास्ता रोके उनका, होश संभालते हुए टकरा चुकी हूँ उनसे, अब तो मोहब्बत सी हो गई है उनसे, छतों पे आकर गुजर गए तो क्या हुआ, दिलों में घर करने की हमारी बारी है, बारिशों में ठंडक लाते हो तो क्या हुआ, आज आग लगाने की हमारी बारी है, टूट के बरसोगे तो क्या हुआ, आज भीगी मुस्कानों की हमारी बारी है। चीखोगे चिल्लाओगे तो क्या हुआ, प्यार से समझाने की हमारी बारी है। तूफान और बारिशों में उलझ गई थी मैं, सब धुंधला सा था, समझ न पाई थी मैं। भूल सी गई थी अपनी भावनाओं को मैं, एक हल्की सी दस्तक से जग गई हूँ मैं। बादलों की गड़गड़ाहट में भी मन अचल है, तूफानों की तेज हवाओं में भी डट कर रहूंगी। विश्वास है अपनी शक्ति पर जो अविरल है, एक दिन ऐसा भी आएगा जब मैं कहूंगी कि डरने से कुछ नहीं होता, क्योंकि डर के आगे ही जीत है। केवल युद्ध जीतने से कुछ नहीं होता, क्योंकि युद्ध के आगे ही मौत है। जीना है तो प्रेम से जियो, खुलकर हंसो, खिलखिलाओ, उठ जाओ ऊपर अपनी कटुता से, छोड़ दो हिचक, अब न शर्माओ। थैंक यू।
I remember the times of COVID. Post that, it was a very confusing, negative
Yes,
time for everyone.
yes.
This sends a jolt of happiness and joy.
I told you कि whenever मेरी poems खत्म होंगी, तो you will feel a rush of energy, rush of blood flow. I'm sure. I'm not saying it. मैं भी पढ़ती हूँ तो even I feel. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि times have changed. There are still many challenging times when we go through and we realize we need some inner power. Look within. You'll find the power within yourself. Not that कि सब कुछ किसी को देख के मिलेगा. अपने अंदर भी तो झांको, बहुत powerful हैं अपने. Each one of us. I'm so happy I'm here and I don't know मैं connect कर पा रही हूँ कि नहीं कर पा रही हूँ, but this is how I think.
Anyone else?
So I read 2 of the poetries.
Okay.
It's really good. It's in the back cover actually.
Okay.
So yeah, I believe so. The book would be much more amazing if you're going to read the entire book. My question is like, are you planning to write some other genres as well apart from the poetry?
Yeah, I have already. I'm ready with my stories, the short stories, and even the novelettes. I'm ready with. So once I go back and I'm planning to publish it at the end of the year, I have to, because those stories are very interesting. And again, it's not about any particular theme. It's about, there is murder mystery, there is romance, there is women empowerment. This is about so many things, whatever. But I'll just tell you a secret which I've not shared. When I start writing, there is no thought in my mind. I sit and then I realize that what should I think? I don't even know what the first word is going to be. I have never edited my writing. I have just done it, and once I write, when I was writing on the Pratilipy app, still I do. So even one word was not there in my mind, and I would write and I would post it, and that was it. If I edit it, that means I'm trying to be different, and I just always wanted to be original and genuine. This is really, I believe me, I mean nobody would believe this, but that's what I have done. Never thought of any word before writing. The second word or the next paragraph or nothing. Yeah, when the Pratilipy gave me topics, yeah, then definitely. If I was writing something randomly, then there was no what. So that's how I like my writing to be. Thank you.
Hello, Jyoti ma'am. How are you? Arpit?
Arpit, I know I've seen you in pictures on the beach and all that. How can I forget you? We've also had a short argument. And
Yes. How's the things, sir?
Good. Planning my second book now.
We would love to
Yes.
work on that.
Who else? I totally believe in the quality which you give me
And that for sure. And in this, in fact, I was speaking to Devya Maneka last time, Menka, the pen pointer, that was more on the marketing part. So
Yes.
this time we'll see what we can do in terms of distribution as well.
Yes, I think you had suggested to go for the second book along with the first book, or Dhairya had suggested me
Yeah, I suggested.
as a package.
Yeah, I suggested that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, either you can go for second book as a distribution or a combination of first or the second book.
I was so unsure of myself. I did not know where I would stand. When you write just as a passion,